Hi, everyone. Let's talk about oregano oil. Interestingly, there are a lot of parts in the world where oregano essential oil is pretty common. It's not as common here in Europe, interestingly, because oregano is it's very well known in Europe. I mean, it grows in Europe in certain parts. But here in Central Europe, in Austria, not so much known as an essential oil, only as a dried herb. So, what I've encountered when I went to Canada, for example, that people like to gargle with oregano oil, which is interesting because it's really sharp, hot oil. So I personally don't like to eat hot and spicy. So this is something that I totally avoid. But those people who used to do that on a regular basis, they had no problem with it whatsoever. So if you would like to try it, just start with a tiny, tiny little amount. And it's not necessary all the time. So as I said, it's a very hot oil. It's a very spicy oil. So of course you can use it in the kitchen. There's like the toothpick method, which is where you use a toothpick and you just insert it into the bottle, and the tiny little amount that sticks to the toothpick, you just swirl it around in your tomato sauce or whatever, or maybe your olive oil that you want, just to give a little oregano kick. And it's one of the perfect examples that essential oils, you don't need a huge amount. It only takes a little bit for them to work and to, let themselves known in a meal, in a drink, in your body for certain. So oregano is very well known for its support for the immune system. It supports a healthy immune system, especially, when there's a lot of occasional seasonal threats and, stuff coming your way. I really try to be extremely compliant here. So you can take it internally. As I said, some people like to gargle with it or drink it with water. Personally, I don't recommend it because I think it's way too hot. But you can use an empty veggie cap, for example, put a drop in, maybe fill it up with a little bit of olive oil or omega-3 oil if you have something like that, which helps it, a little bit to digest. So this works fine. It's great internal support. Also for the airways, it's recommended in a lot of books actually to use oregano oil to support healthy airways. Just one little reminder, I wouldn't use oregano oil for a very long time on a daily basis, simply because it's one of those oils that, are a little bit harder to digest for your liver and, your whole system actually. So if you're healthy, this shouldn't be a big deal. But I personally feel like oregano oil is best when used in a specific amount of time, like 1 to 2 weeks. If you're not working on something with a health practitioner, that you would stick to it longer. But sometimes even a couple of days, a few days, absolutely enough to feel the benefits of oregano oil. As I said, you can use it instead of a dried herb, but just a tiny little amount. You can make your own cleaners, like surface cleaners with oregano oil. I would blend it with some citrus oils though. If you want to use the benefits of oregano, just, blend it with some wild orange or a lemon, simply because its smell is so herbaceous and a little bit heavy and very green. And if you want to support your massage by, really amping up that blood flow and make it even more warm, you certainly can use oregano oil because, as I said, it's a hot oil, and this is something that you will feel on your skin and on your muscles. I even know quite a few people, horse people, for example, who like to put oregano oil on the soles of their feet during wintertime because it helps their feet keep warm. Just massage it into your feet, put some, woolen socks on top of it, and you will feel a difference, definitely feel a difference. But you will smell a little bit like pizza all day long, probably, which, when you're outside, it's no big deal. But just be sure of it. I've heard of somebody who went skiing, and she said, my feet were so warm and comfy. It was great, but I was craving pizza, and nobody, like no restaurant on the pizzas on the skiing slope had pizza on offer. So that was a funny little story actually. And for the emotional benefits, it wards off some negative attachments, negative energies. It's one of the oils when you think about physical immune system, when you go into the emotional, energetic benefits, it's always, keeping yourself clean, keeping stuff away from you, keeping yourself unattached, keeping yourself healthy in setting your boundaries. So that's what I would recommend using oregano for. It's one of the oils, to be honest, that lasts the longest in my oil cabinet, because I only use it when I want to support my immune system. The smell is not my favorite, to be honest, but that's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people who, run through quite a few bottles of oregano every year. And yeah, again, as always, let me know in the comments what you do with oregano. I personally think it's something that every household should have on hand, because it's just, when you need it, you're lucky and very happy to have it. So anyway, thanks for listening, and see you soon.